Hey guys, how you doing? We're back for another wheel spin. So while I was pre-shuffling, I was getting this message that there are special people in the world who leave keys for those who are spiritually sick, who lost control of themselves and found themselves enslaved to the fear manifestation of things. When this happens, people find themselves in love affairs. They find themselves with consequences, burned bridges, because they were stagnating inside that manifestation. When we stagnate, someone will end up choosing betrayal so that the chaos that ensues can set the love from spirit loose. On the whole, I felt like we hold on to identities and the people tied to them for too long. Okay, that was the energy that I was getting in the pre-shuffle. So we're going to spin the wheel, see what sign comes out. And I've got my astro dice to see what other placements may be significant. Hey, Kristen, how you doing? I love you so much. Thank you for popping in. We've got Leo. Why am I not surprised, Leo, with how much you showed up yesterday in the read? So, Spirit, what other signs or placements may be significant? We have Scorpio, Mercury, and first house. Mercury can also be Gemini and Virgo, third house and sixth house. First house can also be Mars. It can also be Aries. Scorpio is eighth house, and Pluto also could be Mars. So this may be super significant if you are a Leo Mars, Leo Mercury. Leo is also the fifth house and the sun. So any combination of those planets and those houses and those signs, there's likely something significant in the message for you, whether it is the message in its entirety or just, something that I say that just clicks and you're like, that's why Spirit guided me to this reading. So, hey, Rita. The decks we're using today, we're going to be using the Harrow, we're going to be using the What's the Vibe deck, and then I also have the Tarot of the Unknown and Slavic Legends. And we're going to see what comes out. We're going to see what comes out. So, Spirit, who are we reading for? And who are they involved with? Who are we reading for? We've got the Hidden Truth. It came out reversed. So we'll read the misaligned, quote unquote, misaligned message with that card. And then who is the second energy? Who or what? Also came out misaligned. The Tangled Briar came out reversed. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Locksmith, and that came up in the pre-shuffle. Hey, Christina, how are you? All right, let me see if I don't mix up these dice. I got the Locksmith on the bottom. All right. What is the vibe for the Hidden Truth character? What is the vibe for the Hidden Truth character, please? Spirit and the Tangled Briar. What is the vibe? What is the vibe? We got running and we've got recharge. Okay. Okay. Get these cards over here. All right. Bottom of the What's the Vibe deck is wishful thinking. Second chance, deja vu, nostalgia, stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, trying to remember the heat can't last forever. Tell me about it. It's freaking I'm sitting out on my porch with all these dang windows. I left my door wide open. I don't care. I'm letting the cool air come out here. I would not be able to sit and read otherwise. Okay. So let me read to you the locksmith, because the locksmith definitely was showing itself in the pre-shuffle. The locksmith is a lawful neutral card. Okay. It presents the subject with the keys she needs to unlock her destiny. He grants the tools to access a new location, clue, or treasure. He does not grant insight into how or where to use these tools. The card often represents a strange, ancient, or magical object. Now, mind you, this is D&D terms, so translating that into real life, the locksmith is a person who comes in, usually via a Chiron wound, but shows the individual that they are in that martyring with how to escape the Chiron cycle. They just don't necessarily tell you who you are going to need to understand this information with, right? Taking a page out of their book and learning from what they did to get out of it, right? So the overall energy is knowing that there was someone at some point who you either martyred yourself for, or they were martyring themselves for you, right? Running themselves into the ground to help you heal, but it wasn't being received at the time. And how they responded to that situation in order to get out of it is something that you would have to remember moving forward, right? That you would probably need to apply the same actions or belief system in order to get out of your own martyring, right? The hidden truth. The hidden truth came out misaligned, which is wild because it is a lawful good card. So in the misaligned energy, it's chaotic evil. In the upright, it symbolizes the ability to see past the obvious and the banal to a greater truth within. Sometimes this discovery is an esoteric one, and sometimes it's a literal find, such as an item revealed within a room. Regardless, it is a card within the power to reveal secrets. Misaligned, it can mean a secret being revealed is to the subject's detriment. I think the truth is realizing that someone is running, right? Or that the truth is that this person is running. They're trying to escape, or they're in denial, or they're making excuses for certain things. This person being in the chaotic evil alignment of that card, where the truth is damning, might be picking up on that betrayal energy that I was kind of feeling in the pre-shuffle. I feel with whoever that is, they're having a hard time facing their own inner truth, right? Their own spiritual connection to their higher self. They are probably the ones stagnating, right? And potentially sabotaging things. And it's likely because this person is stagnating with them. So the Tangled Briar is a lawful evil card, but it's misaligned, which turns it chaotic good. So the Tangled Briar. In the upright, the Tangled Briar is a card of ancient deeds. It indicates an object or person from long ago that will somehow have great influence on the situation. The object or person in question is one lost or unalived in some foul way. Misaligned, in reverse, the thorny past brings not just pain, but hope for the future as well. So whoever this person is, they came out with recharge, right? Breathe, let go, and clear your mind. This person likely came into this life seeking to heal a past debt, seeking to have great influence on the first person, right? That their presence would be profound in some way. Unfortunately, that was not the mission, you know what I mean, for this life. However, the process of debt, right, especially because we have scorpionic energy, and it's, you know, death and rebirth, it's inheritances, and it's things that we bring in from past lives that we feel we owe or are owed to us. So I feel like someone is finally thinking about resetting and maybe reinventing themselves with the tangled briar. I think they are going to go through, if they haven't already, a painful situation with the first person. I think that if they did get back together, because we do have wishful thinking and second chances or deja vu and nostalgia on the bottom of the What's the Vibe deck, I do feel like this is potentially someone's second go around with each other as is. This is already at least a second chance. And it's what's meant to be is meant to be, and what's not is not, you know? So I feel there is going to be some kind of coming to a close for the two of them. And it's never easy, right? It's never easy. I was just having this conversation with someone that I'm talking to right now, because it's never easy to say goodbye. You know, we really do identify with certain identities, right? We identify with certain characters, certain roles, certain mess for so long sometimes that we forget who we are outside of it. And it's painful to let the mask go, you know, because the conversation, and it's significant because it's scorpionic energy, where addictions play a role in having to let people go. And addictions can be everything from substances to belief systems to habits and patterns of behavior, right? Like, we could have addictions to pain, we can have addictions to our victim mentality, we can have addictions to all kinds of stuff. We get so hooked on the violin, right? And that same old story that we've been playing and telling ourselves for so long, that we forget that there's more to life than wearing that mask or being in that role. And that's when spirit does start truly shaking things up. So this is the Tower of the Unknown. We're going to use that for person number one. Spirit, what is going on? What is going on with person number one? The hidden truth, running. I feel like they are keeping a secret that's painful for person number two to find out. And because it's in the reverse, I do feel like person number two is going to find out. Some which way, shape, or form, they're gonna realize it, that someone's on the run or on their way out. What is going on with person number one? Insight, please, Spirit. What do we need to know in our highest good about person number one? Yeah, the Ten of Swords. Okay. The Ten of Swords. With the Ace of Wands. This Ten of Swords is a fallen tree. It has multiple axes in it. That's a pretty dark and cloudy sky up there. Trees are indicative of life, right? Someone, it's like that death while living kind of feeling, you know? It's a hard spot to be in. They want to feel alive again. What else? Yeah, the Death card, scorpionic energy. I feel like this person is known or unknown, welcoming, really welcoming the reset. I think they're very consciously aware of the fact that they are committing some kind of betrayal. Ace of Cups on the Ten of Swords. That Ace of Cups was coming in with the Ten of Swords during the pre-shuffle, and that was the kind of chaos energy that I was getting, really unlocking the spiritual flow of things. We got the Lovers card here, Gemini in energy. Also Mercury, right, came out in the dice. What else? And the Seven of Swords. Yeah, so this person is definitely keeping some kind of secret. They know that they're in misalignment. They know that they're taking the energy from someone else and that it's going to crush them. They know it. They know that they're outright lying to someone and wearing a mask. But when they take the mask off, like, the truth is ugly. Bottom of the deck is the Woodsman. That's the Hermit card. Virgo energy. And you know what? He's holding that axe, right? He's holding that axe. He's got the wood pile on his back and he's holding that axe. We've got the Queen of Pentacles on top. I don't feel this is the first time this person's done this. I'm getting that vibe of, like, once a cheater, always a cheater. This person, I mean, obviously they've got some wounds that are not healed. I don't feel like it's person number, at least not all person number two's fault. But this person has some serious, like, inner work that needs to get done. And they haven't, as up until this point, they haven't done it yet. I think they choose chemistry, or they're very, like, sexually driven. Right, we have that Aryan energy twice on the dice. This person may have, like, a sex addiction or, like, the thrill of the cheat. It's almost as if they enjoy, it's almost like it's bizarre. It's almost like they enjoy the web of lies. They enjoy the challenge of keeping up that facade, of being powerful enough to trick people the thrill of being able to manipulate or gaslight and get away with it. Like there's something about it. Look at this Lover's card. He's wearing a gorilla suit. He's wearing a gorilla suit. Like this person does not realize, like, yeah, they do go around acting from like very primitive, like animalistic tendencies, but on the inside, like they are more than that. I feel like someone sees that, but he's still wearing the costume. I feel like this person is like half in and half out with whatever their healing is. The thing is, they're still rocking a gorilla suit, like monkey mind. They're acting from primal instincts, especially with the Ace of Wands, you know, being what it's clarifying. I've got 3 ones out there. Like this person is catalytic. Ones, sevens, 11s, and 4s might be significant synchronicities with this person. It's weird. I feel like I could feel it in my chest. It's like this person's, and it's creeping up into my throat. It's like this person's heart chakra and throat chakra are major off. They don't know how to love themselves or be honest with themselves. They don't know how to speak the truth and love the truth. Like, it's the very opposite of that. They love the lies, and yet the lies cause them a great deal of pain and suffering whenever they go through these cycles. I definitely feel like this person deals with a addiction issue, possibly multiple addictions. It's almost like this false belief of being powerful. Like, I hate to use the narcissist word, but it feels that way. Like, their emotions might seriously be shut off. They might run solely inside their mind and with their primal desires and spirits trying to love them, and they're stagnating. So they're choosing chaos, and they're choosing betrayal because they haven't healed certain things. What's going on with person number 2, the tangled briar energy? What's going on? This is the Slavic Legends Tarot. What's going on with person number 2? What is going on, Spirit? What do we need to know on our highest good concerning this recharge, right? Getting out of a sticky situation, just not necessarily unscathed. We got the 9 of Coins reversed. We have the Page of Cups reversed. We have the Page of Coins reversed. What else? Clarify this, please. I feel like this person has nothing left to give. You have the Knight of Coins on the 9 of Coins. And the 6 of Wands on the Page of Cups. Give me one more, please. That Page of Coins reversed. And the Four of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit, so they both have the Hermit on the bottom. And the Page of Swords on top. So lots of pages with this person. For person number 2, I do feel like this person has a problem being single. They don't know how to walk away from toxic relationships. It's like they'd rather be in something toxic than be alone and or go through the healing. I think they know they need to reset and go to beginner's mind. It's like reevaluating their thought processes or their reasoning. And I do feel like this person can no longer speak falsities. Like, they can't say I love you when they don't feel it or don't mean it, you know? Hey, Rita's Biz, how you doing? They can't speak it if they don't mean it. And to them, or for them rather, it is a big win, right? That they're not allowing themselves to fake it. But they're not seizing any opportunities either, right? They're not planting any seeds for progress with the first person. And yet they're not letting go either, right? They're not letting go either. Like, they know that the love is gone. They know they're emotionally disconnected from it, but yet they're still focusing on it. So that's why person number 1 is going into kind of like chaos mode to shake things up in the reality. I think person number 2 knows that this soul contract is done and that they really do need to clear their mind. They really do need to breathe. They probably need to just take some time away and be in their own energy for a while. I don't feel like they're doing that, but I feel like that's exactly what they need to do. Like, whether it's just going away for a weekend and being in their own energy, or just taking some time to not be in like physical proximity to whoever the first person is, because it's clouding up their ability to feel their own energy. I feel like this person is grossly shut down. Like, they're going through the motions of every day, but they're not faking with their words, though. So much so that because they might feel or sense that person number 1 is lying to them or betraying them in some way, if they sense it, they might not even have a problem with being a little bit bitter in the way they speak to them. Whether they do or don't have proof. I do feel like person number 2 senses that person number 1 is unfaithful. And I think they just need a break. Like, bad. Let me pull another deck. Let me pull. Let me pull the Tarot of the Abyss. Let's get an overall of what the situation actually looks like. Spirit, what is going on? What is going on between the two of them? What does the reality look like? With these two interacting with each other? What is going on? What is in our highest good to know? Yeah, the Ace of Cups reversed flew right out. There is no love there. I feel like both of them are having a hard time feeling grateful. Both of them are feeling the need to move forward. The Eight of Cups is there. The Eight of Wands is there. Yeah, they're getting the intuitive pings to move forward because they know they're in a loop. The Magician, again, Gemini, Virgo energy. And the Queen of Cups. Someone's manifesting being loved. That's what they're focusing on. We have the World card in the reverse. Someone might definitely be thinking back, right, with that wishful thinking, deja vu, or nostalgia. I feel like someone could definitely be thinking about a past person or a previous relationship that they had where they were loved better. Six of Wands is out twice. Queen of Pentacles is out twice. Yeah, someone wants to move forward to the victory. They're thinking about a time when they were nurtured. We've got the Emperor here. They're manifesting high masculine energy. Someone who was in alignment and choosing in their highest good, who was acting from that high masculine vibration. Queen of Cups with the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, they're thinking about a time when they didn't have the wisdom at the time that they were with this person, this past person. And the Nine of Pentacles is on the World. I feel like they both know they needed to go through the healing. Knight of Swords is on the bottom. And the Ten of Cups is on top. I feel like whoever the past masculine person was, like they didn't want to let go of either person one or person two, right? Whoever that pertains to, whoever the past energy was, they didn't want to let go. They had to, right? It's almost like they were left with no choice but to do that because there was still healing that needed to take place. There was still some kind of contract between the two of these individuals that needed to play out. But to be fair, they both might be thinking of a person back then. When love was real. And that's the locksmith energy, right? We were talking about someone from the past at some point that dealt with a Chiron wound and martyred themselves, gave all they had, right, for these individuals. And they found themselves in their own Chiron cycle with things unhealed that needed to heal. And now they're reflecting on the relationships that they had with people from their past that were in high alignment. Because the thing about Chiron, right, like it is the absolute correct high masculine energy. It's just given to the wrong person, right? When we're in the high masculine and receive the shadow feminine, where we give our best energy but get the shittiest energy in return, is Chiron dynamics. And I feel like these individuals are present day, like thinking of what that high masculine energy looked like and missing it, knowing that it didn't want to let them go. It wanted to love them, right? Whoever the Chiron character from the past was, they wanted to love them, but they couldn't because they weren't ready to be loved yet. Like they just weren't there yet. Who is this past person? I'm pulling from my hand-drawn cards. Who is the past person, please? Spirit is definitely telling me there's two of them. So who is it for person number one? Who is the past person for person number one? Yeah, Chiron's always the culprit. We're all healing through that shit. Who is the past person for person number one? We got the finish line. This person that person number one lost and is reflecting on, they were planning forever with person number one. They lived and loved like person number one was the last person they would ever love. Give me one more for person number one, that finish line energy. The broken mind. It came out this way. I feel like this person because there's two of these cards in the deck. This particular version, this person had their own demons in their head, but they saw an angel. They saw an angel. Like this person, whoever their person was from the past, like they had their wounds. That's Chiron, right? They had their wounds, but they looked at person number one like they were an angel, like they were a gift, like they were a blessing. Like they really did see person number one as a beautiful light. Despite their obvious wounds, right? Their obvious wounds. Person number one has addictions and bad habits, possibly sex addiction or other substances and things like that. I feel like they have more than one addiction. But person number one loved them at their worst. Okay. Whoever person number one lost, like that person that they lost loved them genuinely, even at their absolute worst. Still gave them the best energy. What is the past person for person number two? Who are they thinking about? Who is person number two thinking about, that past person? The bomb in the fireplace. So whoever they're thinking of, I feel like this person, like that's a burned bridge. That's a bad burned bridge. Like this person may have in the light been what was an explosion of warmth, right? An explosion of comfort. And when it ended bad, like, they acted as if this person never existed. Like, not only did they burn the bridge, they burned all evidence that they were ever with this person, like, completely erased them. Completely erased them to heal, right? We have the Star card on top of the deck. Whoever their past person was, they burned them bad. Like, real bad. And that's a shame, you know what I mean? Because now in hindsight, they're like, damn, you know, because that's the love I needed. The explosion of warmth and comfort. I needed that. They just didn't realize they needed it at the time. And I feel like this person didn't hide anything. Like, they were the kind of person, because the fireplace archetype, like, yeah, it can keep you warm, but it can also burn the evidence. I feel like this person blew up the fireplace. You know, like, there is no need to hide anything. So this person may have been seriously transparent to where person number 2 didn't have to guess where they stood with them. They were super, super healing. And the ending was probably really bad. Like, when they split with whoever their past person was, it was probably it was probably explosive. Like, it didn't end well. It didn't end on a good or recoverable note, you know. Mm. We're gonna get deep. Fuck it. Traditional manga tarot, because I'm nosy. Where is person number 1's past person? Where is person number 1's past person, and what are they doing? What are they up to? What is the insight, please, Spirit? What do we need to know about person number 1's past person? What are they up to now? What are they up to now? What are they up to now? We have the 10 of Wands. We have the 10 of Swords. The Hanged Man. The 9 of Swords. The Knight of Cups. This person's still hurt. And the Page of Pentacles. Five of Cups is on the bottom. Magician is on top. Like, person number 1's past person looked at them like the end all be all. They planned the rest of their life with person number 1. So when person number 1 probably did to them what they're doing to person number 2 now, they completely wrecked their past person. They still are burdened, spiritually burdened with past memories or even nightmares of person number 1. They probably still show up in their dreams. They feel completely like betrayed, like their love was betrayed, and they're going through the healing process. They're going through the healing process and needing to pick up the pieces. That Five of Cups on the bottom, there is a lingering depression. There is a lingering depression. I feel like they're manifesting something good to help them out of that energy. But they took a real bad beating. They really did look at person number one like their forever person and planned life that way. So when person number one did what they did, probably running, right? Probably getting into some sexual chemistry, whatever, self-betraying behavior, right? Monkey-minded shit. They hurt their past person real bad. I mean, and that's Chiron, right? Chiron is when you give your all to somebody and it ends up so fucking painful. And it is like person number one's past person is still trying to see the spiritual element of it, you know, why it had to happen that way, because they don't understand. They have not been able to move on or be with someone new since. I don't care how long it's been. They haven't genuinely emotionally connected to anybody else since. They might even be getting these dreams that person number one wants to reconnect with them, and they're having a really hard time. They're having a really hard time with the dreams. Person number one might be coming to them in dream state, like, you know, seeking some kind of reconciliation in the dream state. And it's like a nightmare. It's like a nightmare because person number one's past person, like, they're not over it. They're not over it. Like, they might not feel the same way. Like, they might not be emotionally connected to them the same way, but the past emotions are still haunting them in the present. They're still healing. They're still processing. They have moved on from, you know, the love with person number one, but they haven't necessarily been able to open up to love with anybody new. What is going on with person number two's past person? This is the Darkwood Tarot. What is going on with person number two's past person? Where are they at right now? Where is person number two's past person? Insight, please. What's going on? What is in our highest good to know about person number two's past person? We got the Tower. There's that Mars energy. What else? We got the Three of Cups. We got the Four of Pentacles. And the World card in reverse again. We got the Ten of Swords. It literally came out in damn near every deck. And the Moon in reverse. Four of Cups is on the bottom. Came out multiple times now. And the Fool card. I think person number two did move on after person number two and them split, because they really did go explosive and just erase all evidence of them inside their mind, inside their psyche, and tried to just live as if this person never existed. However, I do feel like they were betrayed or heartbroken involving whoever they moved on to after. I think they're having revelations that they still genuinely love and care about person number two, and that it's not over. they might be trying to reconcile with their current person because it scares them that they still have feelings for person number 2. But I think that they are, in fact, holding on to the truth and they can't shake it. So no matter how ugly it was, right, when it ended, no matter how explosive it was, especially if these two were living together and person number 2, their past person offered them like a home and the comfort and the safety of all of that, you know, and it all just blew back in their face. Like person number 2's past person was real fucking upset and reacted with anger, right? Reacted with anger and denial. But wherever they're at right now, I think they're realizing they still genuinely love person number 2 and that they're not over it. And that's why this relationship with whoever they're in can't work. There might be some serious question marks that still need to be answered. But I think given the right conversation, right? The conversation that obviously hasn't been had yet between person number 2 and their past person. I think depending on the conversation and the transparency within the answers, they might be able to rebuild that bridge together. Yeah, I think this person knows the truth. They still care about person number 2. I think the reason why they responded with such an explosion is because they did genuinely love person number 2 and had a really hard time facing the reality, and they reacted badly to the burn. To be fair, person number 1 and person number 2 could have left their past people for each other. That's rough, man. Healing had to be done. Healing had to be done. All right, I'm going to pull some guidance. We're going to use the Oracle of Visions and the White Light Oracle. All right, for some guidance. Whether you're person number 1 or their past person, or person number 2 or their past person, because all y'all came out in the reading. So whoever needs the guidance, no matter what position you find yourself in, let's see what Spirit would have for you. All right, Spirit, please, what is the guidance that we need at this time? What is the guidance that we need at this time? What card above all others? Card number 45. And from the White Light Oracle, what card above all others for guidance at this time? We got the 7 blessings of Eve. Okay. Okay. That's card number 7. Card number 45. The card is manipulation, control, role-playing, and wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is synchronistic now. It literally has come out twice. We've got it here. And we have it here. Okay. So wishful thinking, manipulation, control, and role-playing. The quote is lyrics from the musical Cabaret. It says, "What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret." Life is a cabaret, a theater, a performance. We are acting out our roles as villains and heroes. Like marionettes, we are both manipulated and manipulating, writing and following the script. We share the stage with others for some acts and perform solos in others. In this parody, we create artificial scenarios or planned outcomes. We can transform into something or someone that we are not. There may be creative benefit in that we are encouraged to fulfill our dreams and wishes. The danger is in losing oneself in the role and losing touch with the reality beyond the stage doors. God, that guidance comes completely full circle with what I said at the very beginning, when I was talking about how we get stuck in certain identities and hold on to certain identities and the people that those identities are tied to for too long. We forget that we are witnessing ourselves as a one whole soul through different facets and different eyes and different interactions and different plays with each other. Where we are the villain in one play, we are the hero in another. And where we are the hero in one, we are the villain in another. And we go back and forth in these roles, and we forget that there is more than just the role that we're playing. There's a higher truth to what we're doing, right? A spiritual truth to what we're doing. And love is always trying to get in. Love, God, source, creator, highest self is always trying to reach us. And so we go through these roles until we realize we can't play the roles anymore. That we're too old for this shit. That we are too old for this shit. And we don't want to play the roles. We want peace. We want to exit stage left and retire from playing these games and putting on these facades and being the bad guy or, the betrayed good guy. We don't want to do it anymore. And that's it takes a lot to get us there sometimes, right? It takes a lot. Card number 7, 7 Blessings of Eve. Seven Blessings of Eve. I don't know if my camera will focus. It does what it wants. The 7 Blessings of Eve. It says, a spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support your soul into full, glorious manifestation. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill. You have natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words so they reflect what you truly wish to put out into the world, because your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize. Eve dwelled in the original paradise, the Garden of Eden. She is the mother of knowledge, and from knowledge, wisdom can be developed. Wisdom is the egg of Sophia, the divine feminine power to be a birth mother of higher consciousness, to bring forth the light of loving awareness. Eve's oracle is not an omen of being cast out of paradise. It is a sign that a false view, which has been holding you captive, is going to give way to a greater understanding, which will empower you to be a bearer of the light. a priestess or priest of the egg of Sophia. This oracle encourages you to seek the knowledge you need, to not be held captive by secrets or misinformation, and to know that from that knowledge you shall and will be able to shed false views, like a snake shedding its skin, and grow in wisdom. You shall know what you need to know and find your way in truth. The oracle also indicates a shift away from shame and confusion, perhaps feeling you have something to prove, or that you are not enough, or that you have to atone for a failing in this or other lifetimes. Instead, your soul is moving you toward a realization of the inherent goodness and grace that is your real nature. You are blessed. You are granted a unique, unrepeatable human life. Even if you believe in reincarnation, acknowledging the soul continues to grow over many lifetimes. There will only be one lifetime when you are this you. If you treasure this life, you will become bolder, more fearless, more willing to step up as your real self, more willing to engage in healing and say yes to what makes your heart sing. There is a rabbinic saying that every time a human being walks down the street, a choir of angels cries, make way, for the image of God is approaching." Loving humanity is not always easy, especially when the darker side of human nature causes such suffering. Yet there is much heroism, love, kindness, and nobility too. Look to the positive and open your heart to the best in yourself and those around you. Choose to see and nurture the spiritual light in yourself and others to do the best of your ability. We are all growing and evolving in our own way. Even those who trouble your heart are doing their best. Acknowledge that humans have limited capacities and deserve compassion and a chance to awaken spiritually nonetheless. Do not, however, allow yourself to become a doormat to anyone's ego games, and trust the spiritual progress and protection of all beings to the divine feminine as you care for yourself and others as consciously as you can. Certain numbers have a sacred significance that crosses religious and cultural boundaries. 7 is one such number with significance in Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Buddhism, Baha'i, and the New Age. The spiritual power of 7 includes a natural charisma and capacity to be an influential channel for higher wisdom. The presence of 7 is a sign from the universe to reconnect to the sacred. The oracle of the 7 blessings of Eve is a reminder that you are a sacred being and have no need to hold yourself hostage to shame, blame, guilt, anger, judgment, or fear. Acknowledge your connection to spiritual knowledge. Pray, and your prayers will be answered. And trust the spiritual progress and protection of all beings to the divine feminine. This is where you trust your intuition. I was having this conversation with my son today because he said something. He's like, yeah, head over heart. And I said, no, it's not head over heart. It's not ignore your feelings. That's not what heart is. It's not head over heart, and it's not heart over head either. It's head working in alignment with heart. And heart is not, it's misunderstood. It's not the love you feel for other people. It's the feelings, right? Heart is feelings. It's the feelings you have when you are about to do something. Does it feel good or does it feel bad? Does it feel right or does it feel off? Does it feel in alignment 100% fuck yeah, or is there doubt and you have to wait? It's a fuck no, not yet, not today, not now. What are you feeling? When we entrust it to the divine feminine, that is what we're tuning into. What do we feel? Is what I'm choosing with my masculine hurting me every day? Or is it showing me that I'm making the right choices because it feels good every day? Are there things in life we can't avoid? Yeah, of course there is. But listening to the heart and allowing the mind to work side by side with it. It's choosing masculine in alignment with what feels right. That's how we get outside of these ego games and being a doormat for other people's healing. You can get out of these cycles by being consciously aware of what you're feeling and choosing in accordance with what you're feeling. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, what anybody else promises. Like, if you can remember that all people are wounded and working on their healing. And if you trust your healing, it doesn't matter what anybody says. If you trust yourself and what feels right, you will not make the wrong decision. You will not make the misaligned decision. Because really, there is no right or wrong. It's just high vibe or low vibe. Low vibe brings lessons. High vibe brings a whole lot of gratitude. It is a shortcut to blessings, to peace. And it doesn't have to be boring. It can be quite exciting being in high vibration. There is so much to be had. We don't have to live out these tragedies because we're not listening to our feelings. Like, yeah, we could have high chemistry with somebody, but if you're getting that intuitive ping that I don't know if I should do this, I don't know if it's going to work out well, I don't know if I could keep it hidden, and you have these doubts, then you really shouldn't do it then. You're feeling doubt. The feeling is doubt. It's a low vibration, and acting through low vibrational feelings anyway, you manifest an unfortunate outcome. It's a low vibe outcome for a low vibe feeling that you acted on or acted in despite of, right? You didn't trust that feeling that said, I wouldn't do that. There has to be this conscious connection to the heart space and what you're feeling. You could want someone to be ready for a relationship with you for years. You can wait and want it. And it's finally there. They're finally telling you, you know, like, yeah, I'm ready. I see you. You're my person, blah, blah, blah. Let's do this. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're like, yeah, like this is what I wanted. But there's a part of you that is still doubting it. It's because you know they're not ready, though. And just because you want it doesn't mean that they're ready. Even if they say they are. Even if they say they are, like, you have to trust your intuition. Like, as much as I know you want to be ready and your intentions are good, maybe you genuinely do want to give it a shot. If you're not ready, though, it is gonna fall apart. This is why trusting the intuition and listening to your feelings is so important. Everybody has intuition. Some people are more in tune with it. It's easier for them to feel than other people, but every single person has it. Every single person has it, even if their scope of feelings is more limited. Maybe they don't feel all of the same feelings that other people feel. It doesn't mean that they can't sense what is or is not in alignment for them. It doesn't mean they are out of control of their choices just because they don't have certain feelings like guilt or remorse. If they can't feel genuine love, they can still listen to what their intuition is telling them. They can still learn from experience. Wow, every time I partake in that pattern, it ends up pretty shitty. Maybe I shouldn't follow that pattern of behavior anymore. I don't like resetting. That doesn't feel good. Resetting and being without doesn't feel good. Being with people who take me for granted or don't appreciate me or reciprocate, that doesn't feel good. It makes me angry. Anger is something that I feel. If it's making me angry, I should probably let it go. I should probably move towards people and respect people who do not do things that make me angry. It's about choices and how we end up coming to the conclusion of what choices we want to make. Obviously, person number one and person number two had some healing to go through to get to this place. or they are reflecting on their past people. I do feel like with a good conversation, person number 2 and their past person could potentially work it out. But there would have to be clear signs that growth transpired. I don't know if person number 1 and their past person can actually reconcile. I don't. Because person number 1's past person is still processing some pretty fucked up shit that went down. Person number 1 was their past person's forever person. That's the way they looked at them. And they haven't recovered since. They haven't been able to emotionally open up to anything or anyone since. I don't know how you're going to turn that back on as person number 1. I do feel that everything is possible with the healing process and divine alignment. What is in your highest good is not lost to you. There is no amount of mistakes that you could make that would justify complete and utter non-recovery, indefinite, irreversible damage. Because healing is healing and the truth sets you free. And if you are in alignment with truth and alignment with healing, and you can open up a conversation from a genuine place of, I see it now. I see it now. And this is where I'm at, and this is what I deal with, and this is what I am capable of, and this is how I can honor you. This is how I'm still working on things. Like, if you can have genuine conversations and be truthful and honest and transparent, anything can heal. Anything can. But there has to be a lot of acceptance along the way. That the past was what it was for a damn good reason. Because healing needed to take place, and that is the point. That is why we're here, to heal, to help each other do that. We can't stay bitter. We can't seek revenge. We can't point the finger and blame. We can't vilify people, because some contracts are just what they are. Sometimes contracts get reopened. They were a specific contract back in the day, and now that certain healing has transpired, there is a new contract in play. Because the healing transpired, and you are not the same people coming into the dynamic because you've grown. Growth is possible. But you can't do the same things that you did before that didn't work and think it's going to work moving forward. Something has to be different, and it has to be better. Like, if someone does, let's just say person number 1 does in fact have a sex addiction or an alcohol addiction or some other addiction, right? Whatever it is. They're going to have to work on those things. And or accept that while they are still dealing with those things, it has certain ramifications and consequences that their past person might be affected by. Like, okay, fine, you want to sleep around, that's fine, but you will not sleep with me then. You know what I mean? Like, if that is who you are, maybe person number 1 their past person can actually accept it. As long as you are not sleeping with me, though, because I'm not going to put my body at risk. And contract some shit, because, I got to just trust. Like, trust didn't get me that far the last time you were dealing with this kind of issue. So respectfully, like, yeah, I can accept that maybe this is something that you deal with, but you have to accept that I'm not going to sleep with you then. And if you can accept that, then maybe we can move forward. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be truth and agreement. Springing unknowns on each other or lying to each other is never going to result in anything good. If you got to keep it a secret, then it's in misalignment. That's my rule of thumb. If I feel the need to keep it a secret, then it's in misalignment. Either what I'm doing is in misalignment because that's why I'm keeping the secret, or the person that I am in alignment with is a misaligned person because I don't feel like I could be honest with them. Read the feelings. Read the feelings. What you're feeling when you're choosing things. And understand that those are keys. Those are keys and guidance out of misaligned situations and people. Learn to trust what you're feeling is accurate. It is divine. the high divine feminine, the Sophia energy, wants nothing more than for you to absolutely love your life, no matter what that looks like, uniquely and authentically for you. Maybe some people could get along really well, even with addictions. Maybe it's a part of their character. Maybe they can get along real well, as long as they're transparent and open. As long as they could forgive the past. They say, okay, this is the new forward. You have to trust your authentic path. Don't hold judgment on yourself. Do not hold judgment on yourself or what you feel good choosing. Trust it. Trust it. It's authentic for you. And that is the message. So Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo, Aries, and all of those placements that we rolled and spun at the beginning. I have faith that if this message caught you in divine time, it will serve you well moving forward. Let it be a key, right? Let it be a key. Let me be that locksmith energy and give you this key for yourself moving forward so that you genuinely can live your best life. Truly. All right. I will see you guys again in just a little bit. I'm going to clean this all up and we're going to spin another wheel. All right. I'll see you guys in just a bit.